doing? My name's Brian Ware, and I've been at the mission for coming up on 14 months now. And I'm here to talk to anybody that's listening to this. They got a few questions they want to ask me. It's going to be open answers, you know, the best I can do for you and for myself. I'm from upstate New York, small city, Syracuse. Actually, I'm from a suburb west of Syracuse called Camillus. I was in the electrical industry 25 years, had a lot of titles. Man once told me a title's something they give you to make you sound more important than you are. That probably applied to me. I thought of myself as nothing but a salesman. Economically, it's great business. Had a lot of fun. The economy changed. I won't go into all the details, but anybody from Ohio or Pennsylvania know what I'm talking about. What brought me down here was an act of betrayal, and I had I figured 4 options. Eat a bullet, have the cops shoot me, spend the rest of my life in prison, or get on a train. I've been all over the world. I've skied in the Alps. I've seen the Yellowstone. I've been to the Grand Canyon. You know, I'm from New York. I've seen Niagara Falls. You can't miss that. I mean, you name any kind of landmark in this country, I've been there. Redwoods, Scroys, played golf in Bermuda. You know, it's been pretty cool. I'm 60 years old. If I died 4 years ago, I would have gone a happy man. So I was trying to figure out where to go. Didn't want to go to California because it's always running out of water, on fire, or shaking. Florida I've already been to 100 times, you know, being from New York, that's where we go. What's in the middle? If you look on the map, it's New Orleans. So I had the money, so I got on the train. Got off here. Man asked me, looking for a bed? I said, yeah. See that gold dome on that church? Yeah, right across the street's a mission. Okay, came over, got a bed. Shortly thereafter, I came on as a disciple. You know, when I came here, I pretty much had lost everything a man can lose. I'm not a drinker, I don't do drugs. I enjoy a few beers once in a while, but I didn't have time for that foolishness. I was, you know, busy paying the mortgage, raising a family, doing all those all-American things, you know, play by the rules. But, so when I got here, I really didn't care, you know, about anything, including myself. Man loses his identity. I mean, that's just about, you know, that's about all. You know, you can lose your house, get another house. Smack up your car, get another car. Lose who you are. You can't go out and get one of those. Not with legal tender. I lost my job, I lost my teeth, I lost my dog, and I lost my wife. And remember Shawshank Redemption? You ever seen the movie? Remember the beginning? He's sitting in the car and his wife and her lover are in the house, and he knew it. Everything was, that was me. They didn't get murdered that night, but I had gone out and bought a gun. I had moved out of the house. I mean, it happens every day in this country, man. Every day. Man shoots estranged wife and lover that turns gun on self. or like I said, have a cop shoot me, go to prison. That's where I kind of started losing who I was. What did happen to me up there, some was my fault, I mean, I guess. I've looked at, I mean, this was my best friend, and I didn't fall in love until I was 46 years old, or know what it was. There's all kinds of wounds, you know. That's another thing I had a large enlightenment on. There's all kinds of wounds. They don't just have to be heroin or cocaine. You can damage yourself with a lot of different weapons or be damaged by them. I have the scars to show that I didn't care. So I look at them every day. These are external scars. Life can get pretty tough. And when you start thinking like that, I don't know how your resolution is on that camera. So you look at this, I look at them every day. No, it's not a plate glass window. Who is this guy? You know, this is not the act of a sane man. I mean, look at this. I did this with a folding raising knife, laid in the bathtub for 2 hours. Very surreal, laying in your own blood. Changed the water twice because it got cold. Used to give blood at the Red Cross and come out of there after a pint and be dizzier than what I just did. Man, I was laid open like a fish. Forearm was probably that wide. Yeah, well, got up out of there. Grabbed the knife, blood dripping all over. Grabbed my towel, started cutting it into strips. Then I started laughing my fool head off, man. What kind of a man goes in the bathroom to commit suicide and he brings his own towel? Come on, whoa, talk about off the deep end, man. You know, we all use that term insane pretty loosely in our day-to-day. Oh, work was insane today. Well, now I know what it's like to be there. And it ain't no joking matter. They'll always be there, bro. I'll always carry the scars, just like the ones on my arm. They'll always be in my heart. You just work your way through it, I guess. A lot of things. Prayer helps. It helped me. I don't want to... God has a plan, and for everybody. I do firmly believe that. I also believe that He gives you the tools for that plan, and your job is to execute that plan. That's your job. And, you know, the plan for me is He's still doing it. I mean, you don't have to have the big voice. You know, I'm not Moses. I met a man here by the name of John Proctor. And I don't know why, but I guess he saw something in me. And I really, at that time, I don't know what he saw, but he put me to work. And work he did. My job up there was to let 180 guys sleep safely. That was my job, to make sure they were all safe. Challenging? Absolutely. Get yelled at on occasion, threatened a couple times. But where not that long ago I probably would have hollered and screamed right back at him. Now I just got to the point where I just, okay bro, it's okay. You know, I understand. So I did night security here up on the second floor, and I drove. I drive clients, disciples, mostly disciples. I don't think I've really taken any clients. Appointments anywhere in metro area, and doctors, lawyers, POs, whatever. Slowly I got myself back. I liked doing what I was doing because I felt I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for the guys in there. And that's part of what you give up. The other side of this coin was getting a little, I've always thought of myself as a spiritual person when I was a young man. I've read the Chronicles of Buddha, read the Quran, read the Bible, of course. I was brought up Northern Baptist. There are Baptists in New England. That's where my family's from. But Vermont, actually. We're a little more sedate. 3 hymns and a sermon, and that's it, Down here, it's a little more lively. And, I always thought of myself as a Christian, but this place taught me how to be one. We have a class here they call the Vine, and it's the one that touched me the most. And in a nutshell, what it's about is Jesus is the vine, you're the branch, and God's the vine dresser. And he goes along, and I'm from upstate New York, like I told you, Finger Lake area, and they grow a lot of wine. I grow a lot of grapes, make a lot of wine, and I never knew how they got all those grapes, but God comes along and trims the branches on the vine. It hurts, but the branch grows back bigger and stronger. Yep. And I think that's what happened to me. That was one of my favorite classes here.
Awesome.
And it only takes one class to really enlighten. Wow, that one, this one, but just one. Wow. And that hit home. And it helps a lot. You start putting it through your mind. I'm not saying that's the one for you, but I'm saying it was for me. I think one of the things that we have, especially in our society now, and I see it in the disciples, is, I want it now. And I admit I felt like that 6 months ago, I was back to the person I was, and I always have been. And I was ready to go back out, but Mr. Proctor said, that's what you think. Give it a chance to work. So I did. And it does work. It's a hard process. It's if you come in here and you're joining the program here for a bed, I don't know, but it's not a free ride, but like anything in life, nothing's free. They're here to help, but you gotta help yourself. And nothing gives a man more self-respect than being needed. And everything that's done in here needs to be done. We're kind of like a small group of guys. I mean, I wouldn't eat if the kitchen wasn't cranking. The place would be filthy if the cleanup guys weren't cleaning. I mean, it's just, nobody'd be getting around if I wasn't driving. And everybody's got to pull their weight, but it also gives you a sense of accomplishment. Don't think about, I got to get out of here so I can go make some money. Man, that'll always be there. It's not going away, and it'll be here after you're gone. I mean, from the planet. So give us some time to work for you. You came here for a reason. If you're from New Orleans, you know about the mission, so you came here for a reason. Me, I didn't know anything about it. So you can draw your conclusions on that, how I got here. But saved my life? Absolutely. You know, absolutely. There's no question about it. So it's bringing you a little bit closer to God, closer to Christ. If you want it, it's there for you. You know? I'm not saying that it's gonna solve all your problems, because you still gotta go back out in the world and deal with it. But maybe it'll make you a little more patient and understanding. I know I got a lot of that here because, man, I used to drive down the street in my town, believe it or not. We have almost been, get a job, man. Trying to stand on the side of the road all day. Wow. You know, now I know why. So, but I know what my story is, and it's been enlightening, you know, very enlightening. So the trucking thing came up, and to be honest with you, in the trucking business right now, man, they're looking for some people. They're about 500,000 short right now in the country, and that's 500,000 guys. You go to Dallas for a week, Salt Lake City for 2 weeks, that's probably when they start doing this. And then I'm on the road for 5 to 6 weeks after that with a trainer, and then I get my own truck. I'm ready to move on. I think I'll make a good truck driver because I get pretty frustrated with the four-wheelers cutting me off, you know. At least now I just kind of let it go, you know. Well, at least you didn't hit me, so I guess that's a good thing. This is the place to come, no matter what your issue is. And it could be anything. It's done wonders for me. And another thing that I learned here, it can happen to anybody. It doesn't have to be something that society looks down upon, although that might be one thing that happens, but it can happen to anybody. I know, it happened to me. Well, like I said, I'm going back out in the world and I don't know where my check's going to. Because I got a few bucks to pay back here. And it's going to give me great joy when I send that first one. That's the man that got off the train here. That's the man who walked in the front doors at the mission. But it ain't the same guy walking out. And saved my life.